great to see you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Really, really well.
Nice.
I miss the days when we used to be in a room, live coaching with a workshop. All the Executive Shine workshops used to sell out. But for me, it's been a real joy watching you host the Executive Shine sessions online, over Zoom channels and different platforms. And that's sort of saying to me that it feels like it really matters, particularly now. And I'm just sort of intrigued your thoughts, sort of why now more than ever before.
Why people want the coaching?
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? I think people have realised that we are starting to have to communicate in a very different way, owing to this all working from home and so much happening on virtual communications. And it's interesting how we still need to communicate and we still need to use the same skills in order to get our points made. And I think now coaching people to operate inside this little box, it's a lot of it is exactly the same as in real life, but there's a lot of things that are very helpful, and the techniques that we use, which we would use in TV and film, that are useful to help people kind of like have more of an impact. I think people are struggling to have the impact that they have in real life over a virtual platform. So a little bit of help with that is what's needed at the moment, I think, for people.
And it's
Yeah.
isn't it? Because we're all broadcasters now. Right, we're
Yeah.
all on TV. Like everybody goes, "Oh, I wish I could do more broadcast work." We're all broadcasters now. What really strikes me is, whereas that used to be the preserve of very, very senior people,
Yeah.
either on screen or indeed on stages. Of course, now it doesn't matter how junior or how senior you are, because actually even the most junior people to the most senior people now have to come across with impact and gravitas as well.
We all have to be ready for our close-up. That's kind of what's happening, is we're all being seen in this little box. And even, I mean, we were talking about it the other day, even when you're not the person hosting the meeting, or you're even if you're not the person doing the talking, like right now, you have got a really good listening face. You're engaged with
Thank you
me
very
and you're
much.
listening and nodding. Yes, it's kind of like that's what I need from you. So even when you're not the one doing the talking, there's something about this intensity of operating on a screen that also we all need to be made aware of. And I think that's where the coaching is also coming in handy, is it's just finding ways to operate where you come across the way that you need to come across.
And it's verbal and non-verbal signals all the time. And of course, the wonderful thing is that we all watch them play out with every single Zoom call, or whether it's Microsoft Teams or whichever platform. We're platform agnostic. Actually, they're played out every single day. We're watching people who you'd imagine will be brilliant on stages and therefore would be really good on this kind of platform, just really
Yeah.
struggle to tell great stories and speak with impact.
I've seen some people who are in real life on a stage really impactful, really good presenters, great communicators, always tell stories to get their point across, using metaphors, doing all of the tricks, and then get onto a virtual platform and completely crumble because everyone gets nervous about this whole idea of being on camera. And so, yeah, I've been doing a lot of one-on-one work actually with people who want to still operate in the way that they would operate in real life over this medium. And
Mhm.
that's working really well. We've been doing some great group stuff as well, which to me, that's been the biggest surprise, is the work that we've been doing with groups, where you've got sort of like 9 or 12 people on the screen and you're still trying to play improvisation games and people are typing stuff into the chat box. And it's kind of like, it's worked out to be really good fun. And I think that's another thing that this has been helpful for, is that kind of keeping that connection between teams that usually see each other every day in the office, or
Mhm.
that usually speak to each other. Even people who work remotely usually are having this kind of like unusual bond that's being built up over this medium, through playing some games sometimes, or just through doing some really nice exercises where they find something out about each other that they didn't know. Something that you might find out if you were making a coffee at the same time as somebody else in the office and you had a little bit of a chat. That's not happening because we're all at home on our own. And
That's right.
so this is another thing, just having a workshop where your team gets together and plays a few improvisation games together. They've been worked out to be really good fun for people, and they're very popular. It's been great. It's
I mean, the
really
feedback's
good.
been incredible, hasn't it? People literally just saying, you know, kind of not only was it energetic and it was interesting and it was engaging and it was fun, and there's clearly, therefore, there are signals there going, we need to be involved with stuff that's energetic, engaging, and fun, but also the skills that people are learning at the same time through the kind of experiential learning. It's not a here's a PowerPoint deck and follow these instructions. It's really experiential, and it's incredibly engaging.
To say one of the things with that is that. It's skills that once this is all over, which it will be, we hope very soon, it's skills that are easily transferable as well. So what we're learning to do here, once we get out into the real world again, it's the same skills. It's just
well, I think that's really interesting, isn't it? Because I've been talking to loads of CEOs and loads of corporates, thinking about what is their return to work, or however you want to describe it. And it's a really mixed bag. So there are some people are saying we're not expecting our teams to return before, you know, kind of some saying summer next year. And others saying, well, actually, we're doing a kind of hybrid model. We're having team A's and team B's and people do, which makes it even more compelling and even more important, because you could be sitting in a boardroom with very few people having to talk to the rest of your team over a digital channel. So therefore, some of the hybrid skills that you need is really interesting. The other fascinating thing is the number of people now who are, you know, we've got a podcast, it's called Streets Talks 2. I've been talking to loads of CEOs, and but also podcasts and webinars, and more of these people, you know, and you see a real mix of those who are very compelling on a platform like this, down the camera and holding an audience for, you know, 40 minutes to an hour. You know, that's a long period of time to be on screen perpetually. To others who are going, well, actually, I've got my 20 seconds of fame to be made, and then I actually look completely disinterested in the rest of it. And you know, actually, how I come across is mixed. It's just saying.
Because the audiences, that's the other thing, is that the audience isn't in the room with you, and so as an audience member, we're also relearning how to do that, because when you're doing a webinar in an auditorium, they're all there in the room with you. When you're doing a webinar on virtual platform, everyone's in their own lounge or in their own living room, and they've got, you know, their husband or their wife or their dog or their kid, or it's all real life is going on around them. And so there's also that to contend with, which is, how do I still maintain presence, and how do I still am I still compelling and engaging and holding my audience, even though they might be sitting in their pajamas in their lounge. I mean, I think we're all starting to look at this very differently, because it's been going on for so long now. This has become a way of life for most businesses. Everybody is operating on a screen at the moment, and I don't think it's going to go back to normal very soon. I think we're going to be in this place for a long time to come. Even when we are able to go back to offices and meetings and conferences, I still think that like you say, people will still be dialing in. And so to be able to really nail how to do this properly is a life skill for this day and age. There you go.
What a great way to end, actually. It was perfect. So listen, it's always great to see you. And I know you've got a couple of sessions you're running today, so really looking forward to hearing how they turn out. As I say, the feedback's been fantastic. So thank you. I hope you're well. Stay well.
I am.
Well, it's always wonderful to see you on this platform, but hopefully see you side by side. We'll have a virtual coffee at some point.
Yeah, I think, can we bump fists or something, or shoulders?
No.
No, absolutely not. So when you put your mask back on, please. Thank you, and good night.
Wonderful to see you, Lara. Take care. Stay well. See you.
Bye. Bye.